Chapter 4, Military Handbook 288B, General Requirements. The engineering drawing package is not already if not already in existence. Some form of engineering drawing will be prepared by the manufacturer system developer at the start of the program. During the concept exploration, demonstration, validation stages, system of development drawing package may contain only enough data to permit the design, evaluation, costs, and projections. The design progress of the program moves through full-scale engineering development, finally into the production. The drawings may become more and more related to the type of drawings described in military T-31,000 and enable the engineering drawing package to follow the progression of the design concept of the production that they are in. Conceptual design drawings, associated list, development design drawings, associated list, product drawing, and associated list. Reviewing reviewing engineering drawing package for the inception of the disposal of the engineering drawing package, the dynamics of documents of program progress, designs or changes are made and manufacturer difficulties are encountered. The technical changes, drawing errors are located, although the events required of the design activity to change the engineering drawing package regardless of the reason for the changes. The engineering drawing package is continuously reviewed to ensure that it accurately depicts the article and its current configuration. The principal phases of the engineering drawing package reviews. The principal phases of the review process of the engineering drawing packages are selection and review, activity review of contract requirements, contractor indoctrination, technical review, documentation control, contractually deficient engineering data, final review, recommendation, acceptance for the rejection of the engineering package, review, activity, familiarity with the requirement. Everyone who reviews engineering drawing package should become thoroughly familiar with the drawing requirements and the applicable government specification standards. The handbook is aid in performing the engineering drawing package. Reviews are reminding the reviewer of the sum of the more important requirements reviewed for the most frequently encountered drawings. The engineering drawing package should be reviewed and the expert in the type of the item is assembled and depicted. 442, reviewing the contractual data requirements. The contract is the most important documentation control of the engineering drawing package. Each requirement of the engineering drawing package is prepared with the form of the data item and description in the DD Form 616. 4 IDs are listed on the contractor data requirement CDRL, the PD, the DD Form 1423, which is amended for the contractor. Essential that the DIDs and the contractual data requirement list is adequately acceptable described. That the requirements of the engineering drawing include that the type of the drawings tailoring the requirements associated with the list formats, delivery schedules. That the person assigned to review the engineering drawing package should be familiar with all contract requirements that affect the engineering drawing package. This should include the provision of the right and data clause, the data required T-clause, the parts of the control requirements, as well as the design specification. The contractor indoctrination government personnel assigned to perform the technical review of the engineering drawing package must understand the contract. The contractor must agree for them to is required that each of the deliverable parties should meet as early as the contractor's period as possible to review the contractor requirements together. Any disagreement for the interpretation of the contract should immediately be brought to the attention of procuring the activities program office resolution. The indoctrination may not be made needed when following the contractors are awarded to the same contractor when this contractor is already working on one or more of the project for the same contractor is already working when the contractor is already working with one or more than project for the same government procuring activity. The reviewing activities of the contractor shall discuss the following topics that meet: the contractor's drafting practices, drawing formats, the contractor quality assurance, configuration management procedures, preparation, checking, control, and revising engineering drawing packages. Types of lists, index data, wire parts, and further furnished. Approximate number of the drawings to be furnished. Security classification of the drawings and data. Contractor property rights of other drawings associated with documentation in the engineering part package. The contractor must specification extent for the contractor rights and data, whether the contractor plans the existing drawings or the data as part of the engineering drawing package. If ensure the applicability of the government types of drawings furnished by the contractor, offset of the shelf items under the condition and specification sort of controlling drawings should be used and will be accepted. If the wire harness will be furnished under the contractor, let's go back and get some music. Fear of the dark. If the wire harness drawings will be furnished under the contractor if considered using the templates of making the wire harness in order to reduce the manufacturing costs. Type of drawings to be used in the documentation printed circuits requirements for the master pattern drawings used for the use of government industry standard parts whenever the possible contractor provisions for the test specifications in the engineering drawing package procedures incorporation approved for engineering changes in the engineering drawing package. Whether the engineering drawing package will be used, supplementary provisions, technical documentation, flow down of the drawing requirements for the subcontractor, lower tier contractors, the primary contractor must ensure that all drawings conform with the contracting requirements, include those prepared by the subcontractor and low tier contractors. Government procedures reviewing the engineering drawing package documentation deficiencies, contractor procedure to the time limit of the respond to the government comments, correct deficiency, the engineering drawing package, contractor procedures ensuring traceability of the drawing requirements for the production-related media process sheets, routes, and sheets, process sheets, route sheets, tooling, jigs, and etc. Technical reviews of the engineering drawing package. Government agencies conducting process technical reviews to monitor the preparation of the engineering drawing packages, to evaluate technical content, individual drawings, and entire engineering drawing package. The surveillance of the drawing preparation is essential for the defense of contractor and administration of services. Other government reviewing the activity of monitoring drawing preparation. An activity drawing surveillance program begins with a technical managerial problems to lightly early to the acquisition program, thus avoiding the potential cost of time-consuming errors. The surveillance program should include inspection, procurement, manufacturing, test facilities to ensure the drawings, documentation developed, and drawings are used in the function in which they are prepared. The review of technical content. The technical content reviews the engineering drawing is vary according to the type of drawings, systems, and items that depict it. Section 5 contains the guidance of the reviewing and most frequent encountered types of engineering drawings and associated. Each review activity should establish establish its own sampling level of the engineering drawing package reviews. Normally, a detailed review of 15 to 20% of the total package is sufficient to reveal the types of deficiencies to be found throughout. However, the reviewing of the activities may elect to conduct extensive reviews of smaller, extremely complex drawing packages. All drawings should be reviewed in compliance rights and data clauses and contracts. Any drawings found in non-compliance should be rejected before the review of the entire engineering drawing package. The drawing shall for an entire assembly first to conduct the completeness review to ensure that all required drawings are supported during having furnished. And see section 482 for the instructions on how to conduct a completeness review. The follow on. We'll get to 482 for the instruction to how to conduct a completeness review. 463, the government reviewing the activity should meet with the contractor is designed to discuss, explain the resolved discrepancies noted as the engineering study. The contractor shall revise the drawing as required, submit the correct drawings to the government for the review. The government reviewing the activity shall conduct the follow-on reviews of new and corrected engineering drawings to ensure that they are acceptable. Additional engineering studies shall be prepared as needed for the documentation discrepancy noted on the following the reviews. A discrepancy that cannot be resolved should immediately be brought to the attention of the project manager of the procuring activity. During the reviewing cycle, the reviewing activity shall coordinate with the activity performing witness and configuration audits to ensure that all drawing discrepancies noted during the audits are corrected. The engineering study. The government reviewing activity shall prepare the engineering study for the documentation results of technical review and engineering study listed on the discrepancy discovered during the technical review. The engineering study is not intended to stand alone document, although the comments should be written in clear, complete manner. There will be occasions when the engineering drawings must be reviewed in order to completely understand the engineering study. Final review is conducted with the contractor. The contractor's final deliverable under the contract. The final deliverable, which may be the form of original drawings, microfilm, apertures, cards, non-reproducible hard copies, digital data, and any other combination of thereof should not be submitted to the government until the technical reviews have been completed by the drawing found and technically acceptable. The final review should ensure the following: previously documented discrepancies that have been corrected. Final deliverable is complete package of media that is on which the final deliverable is submitted to conforms of the contractual requirements. 482, we're not quite to the review of completeness yet, but the review of a previously documented discrepancy. A sampling of the final deliverable should be reviewed to ensure the previously documented discrepancy that the contractor has agreed to correct, wherein the fact of corrected the engineering study for the previous technical review should be used as the guide to verify the correction of the previous noted discrepancies. Review of completeness, although this top-down breakdown, the TDBD, the complete review is performed to ensure that the engineering drawing package contains all the documents necessary to produce the system or items depicted. The top-down breakdown is begun by examining the engineering drawing in which depicts the entire assembly which depicts the entire assembly end item or system. This fish first tier or top drawing listed in second order documentation such as the first terrier is on the top drawing listed second order documentation such as detailed drawing part listed in a specification. Secondary terrier documents may be listed as drawing notes, part list, material blocks, anywhere any else the face of the drawing thereof. Review parts of the loan sufficient to complete with the top down breakdown. Each lower terrier documentation may in turn list additional drawings, lists, or specification. Each must be reviewed in the same manner until all documentation belonging to the engineering drawing package that have been examined. The index list, data list, indenture used on the list can be helpful in performing the top-down breakdown. And none of these lists are available. A list can be hand-generated to keep track of all cross-references. All documentation cited in the drawing associated with the list shall be furnished as and part of the engine drawing except for the industrial specification standards. The military specification standards and documentation reference and military specification standards documentation referenced in parenthetically. The drawing package is not complete unless the requirements is met. The engineering drawing package should be checked against the requirements of the control data requirement list. The standard documentation requirements, the standard documentations were cited in each applicable did. Data on document item data. Wow. The review is not conducted by the technical substances, but rather identity to the local all documents required by the contract. 483, reviewing the drawing of media. The review is conducted by the ensure the media materials legibility, the reproductive quality, the conform of applicable contract requirements, specifications. 4831, original drawings, the contract specification standards, original drawings, only deliverable sample of the package should be examined in complete compliance with the military D5480, military D5080, 508510, DoD standard 100. Particular attention. Original drawings, if the contract specifies original drawings as final deliverable, all sample packages should be examined by the compliance of the military D5480, military D8510, military standard 100. Particular attention should be paid to the legibility of lines, numbered letters, character data, reproducibility of the drawing. The reviewing activity should be ensured that when original drawings are ordered, original drawings are received. Duplicates originals should not be delivered to the government. See DoD Standard 100. Military master pattern drawings. When the contractor requires master pattern drawings delivered by part of the drawing package, they should be reviewed for the compliance of the DoD Standard 100, Military Standard 275. Microfilm aperture cards. If the contract specifies final delivery in microfilm copies of the drawing, package mounted on aperture cards, the media should be reviewed for the compliance of the military M9868, military C9877, military M387 61, Military Standard 804. The sampling of microfilm should be examined to ensure that the type of class, kind, and they are in accordance with the Military M9868 contractually imposed, and the entire microfilm package should be reviewed. Quality, density, resolution, aperture cards should be reviewed for the ensure that they are correct type of the classes, kind, and the microfilm is mounted correctly, that the header information printed on the scale on the cards reflects the drawing depicted on the microfilm. The information punched on the cards agreed with the header and the information. Recommendation: acceptance of rejection. Acceptance of the engineering is all right. Now moving on. Recommendations: accepting or rejecting. Accepting an engineering drawing package. The government procuring activity shall ensure all reviews of the engineering drawing package have been completed before the recommended acceptance. If the review activity determines that the engineering drawing package meets the contract specification requirements, a letter indicating the technical approval is sent to the contractor via the contracting officer notification technical approval. These acceptance activity which is listed in the first address in block 14 of the CEDAR contractual data requirement list is provided by the final acceptance signature of the DD Form 250 after data delivery from the contractor. Rejection of the engineering drawing package. The engineering drawing package should be rejected if in the process and technical final reviews reveal non-compliance and contractual specification requirement. If the reviewing activity recommends rejection, it shall notify the designation acceptance activity in the letter, copy the engineering study justifying the recommendation, reviewing the acceptance of recommended rejection. Contracting officer may elect to invoke and withhold payment of the clauses in the contract. The contracting officer shall notify that the contractor be lettered the engineering drawing package that has been rejected, attached to a copy of the engineering study as justification. Is in the event of the contractor should be allowed to reasonably period specified the contractual data requirements to correct engineering drawing, resubmit the government requirement acceptance general guidance for the reviewing of the engineering drawing packages. The following items should be reviewed of all development and design and production drawings. Drawing size and format: NSY 1410. Drawing title nomenclature: DoD Standard 408.6. Drawing number: DO Standard 100. Drafting approval and release and record: NSI 14.1. The scale is the DoD Standard 100. Contractual numbers of the faces of the drawing: Military Standard 31,000. Contractor NSY 14, sheet numbering, EO standard NSY 14.1, zoning NSY 14.1, security classification 52.20.22, lettering and spelling NSY 14.2, legibility and military D 5480 and military M9868, dimension tolerance NSY 14.5. Graphic symbols, DoD Standard 100, abbreviations, Military Standard 12, items covered by the government industrial standards, DoD Standard 100, identification rights and data limited rights and legends, DFARS 252.227, reference and dimension, ANSI Y1415. Existence drawing, use and submission. Existing drawings and use and submission. Military T 31,000 parts and numbers. DoD Standard 100 part marking. Military Standard 130. Military M 1323.1. Copying company standard documentation. Military T 31,000 reference documentation. Military T 31,000 revision block. NSI Y14 distribution statement marketing. DoD 5230. 24Y. Now on to the Military Handbook 288B, Chapter 5.